Good Thursday morning to you. This is Utility Outlook is valid the rest of today, Thursday, through Wednesday, May the 6th. While we have no utility threats through Monday morning anyway, minor thunderstorm risk develops late on Monday with the approach of a diffuse cold front. Otherwise, we're looking at decent project weather to develop from Sunday into a portion of Monday, and again possibly along about Wednesday. The overall weather pattern remains a quiet one for utilities. Now, we're looking at the 7-day satellite infrared loop here. And the interesting thing to note here is that there's a blocking area of a big block over the Atlantic Ocean here, and this block of higher pressure. So it's forced the jet stream down, and the subtropical jet stream seems to be the strongest, again going back 7 days. But we've had this upper level system just spinning away pretty endlessly. It actually, with the northeasterly flow or northerly flow this time of year, is been creating some relatively quiet conditions, but temperatures that have been fairly stubborn to make a major rise until this system moves off to the east, which is projected over the weekend. We're not going to really see anything major in terms of warming. In terms of precipitation, just a little bit of, again, scattered very light showers or sprinkles. Some of this will be rotating back during the day on Friday. It'll last into Saturday, but we're looking at better conditions to develop on Sunday into most of Monday. We have a weather system that'll be developing eventually. This is a cold front. This will be sweeping in across the region. This area of low pressure, this upper level center, is going to slide to the south of us and really not become a factor. However, a strong jet stream energy is going to sort of hook up there, and this is going to become a fairly powerful system, but slide well southeast of the New England coast. No issues there. Temperature regime, well, we're looking at highs generally getting up around the 60-degree mark today, in some cases a little closer to 65, but we still have this northeasterly flow bringing in milder but marine-like conditions working in up the St. Lawrence River Valley, St. Lawrence Seaway, and eventually into Vermont. Spring is typically the time of year that we find modeling starts to go down the hill due to all these blocking cutoff lows and blocking areas of higher pressure. And hence, this is a comparison with the GFS and the European. The European in blue has had a little bit stronger skill, but noticed recently, over the first part of April, model skill has been going downhill, and this is something typically that happens. You want to notice also the GFS model has been continuing to take a little bit of a downgrade, while the European seems to be coming up. So we're going to go with the European and stick with that. And we'll take a look at precipitable water. So a fairly good measurement of moisture available. Keeping your eye on Vermont here. A little bit of moisture kind of rotates back and forth here. So this is valid later tonight rather, and you can see there's not a whole lot going on. The browns indicate very dry air, and we're going to stay in this mode. But notice we start to see a plume of moisture work in. This is out ahead of a cold front that will be passing through, and it looks like the frontal passage model, the European, has been bringing it in somewhere around Monday night or Tuesday. And you notice this band heads off to the south of us, taking any kind of showers or threat for thunderstorm activity, and then builds in nicely during the day on Wednesday. So looks like another nice day, but wouldn't trust models beyond much past around Wednesday at this point in time. And looking at the precipitation and daily weather moving across, we see that area of precipitation down in southern Pennsylvania, the sort of central Appalachians, and then move off the middle Atlantic coast. That's not going to be a problem for us, but just enough weakness in this ridge of higher pressure that's trying to build in, it's going to deliver a little bit of a mechanism to bring us some very light precipitation, it looks like, during the day on Friday. And then this will sort of wash out, and looks like we're pretty much done, except until we get into Saturday afternoon. It starts to develop again, lighter and less aerial coverage. And then on Sunday, it looks pretty good. And you can see really no precipitation issues with some good project weather up until the time we get into basically Monday afternoon with this band of this cold front here. The actual cold front is right through here, but the band of moisture is being pushed along, so it's going to be a little bit displaced, and that's a generally weakening trend here. So there's a risk of thunderstorms. It looks like late in the day on Monday, but a very minor risk at that. Beyond that, high pressure then tries to build in just to the north of the front. and we get a decent day out of that again on Wednesday as that area of higher pressure starts to ridge in from Quebec. Beyond that, we might see better weather lasting into the end of next week, but at this point in time, very low confidence. Temperature anomalies currently show a little bit of a warming trend above normal temperatures across portions of eastern Canada, a little bit of a cool down. This is in the process of warming, and then out ahead of that next cold front, a little bit of warming conditions that'll be working on in. And this is the weighted maximum temperature anomaly for the country across the lower 48. Notice we're finally above normal in temperature. Hallelujah. And it looks like about 3 days later, we continue in that mode. If anything, we go 10 to 12 degrees, 9 to 12 degrees above normal for the high temperatures. Near normal along the coastal areas, a little cooler conditions here. And a good section of the northern part of the U.S. is looking a little warmer than normal for a change. And comparing notes, hourly temperatures based on Montpelier. This is today's maximum, roughly around 60 degrees. Here's your minimum. Generally in the 40s or down into that 35 to 40 range in some of the cooler spots. And you can see the temperature step ladder. A little bit cooler tomorrow, Friday, but temperatures resume. Upward tick there around 65. And Sunday looks like a temperature could hit 70. And we're looking at Monday, probably the warmest day up and coming. And then a cold front moves on in. That lowers the boom on the temperature. Let's take a look at the European model. A nice gradual rise in temperature. Not really sure about Friday's high. I think Friday's high might actually be a little bit cooler than what we're going to see even today. But then the temperatures resume a nice little warm up here with the maximum temperature taking place on Monday. And then there's that cold frontal passage, cooling down things to around 60 and so forth. But a much better state of affairs here. Definitely springtime weather. And looking at the GFS ensemble coming back to precipitation. This is centered on Burlington now, and again, just a little sprinkle action, not a whole lot going on. It's looking pretty good and all rained. Water Prediction Center showing anywhere from a quarter to about a half inch of precip in the up and coming over the course of the next 7 days. Hard to believe that just in the last 7 days we still had a trace of precipitation, as much as 3-4 inches of snowfall. 9 inches of snowfall top Mount Mansfield, and looking at the snow depths here across the region, we're still looking at 71 inches at the Stake, about 8 inches up around Walden. And this is the climate forecast system ensemble members here. You can see a nice little rise in temperature, ending it looks like up through the Monday period. There's that cold front. And then a little bit of a cool down, but temperatures resume. But we're back in a position here that's going to be feeling a lot more like normal. It looks like we've lost the cold anomalies that we were seeing over the last really month to 2 months. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.